the two first things, if you do nothing else to your bike, that you absolutely must put on your Harley Sportster. Alright everybody, what is up? What is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. As you can see, we are out on the Harley Sportster, the 2019 Iron 1200. Feels good to be back out on this thing, man. I haven't been out on it for a while. I've been getting the street bob a lot of good use, a little bit of fall traveling, a little bit of commuting to work, all that stuff on the street bob. But I was like, you know what? It's a nice crisp fall day here in southeastern PA. I'm not going out too far. Just gonna do some roaming around, kind of like the suburbs and stuff. Get a good fall ride in on the Sporty, take in some nice changing colors of the trees, the leaves, and all that good stuff. Why not go ahead and give the Sporty some love? I don't think I'd had it out in like almost a month. I don't even think I had looked at it or had the cover off of it in over a month. I feel bad, kind of neglecting this thing. But we were out on it today in the Norristown, Bridgeport area. Heading out to Valley Forge for a little ride. That's always a decent little good fall ride spot out in this area. From where I live, gets you about probably like 50-60 miles round trip, depending on which way you take. You can take some highway, you can take some back roads. I started on the back roads today on 23 West, headed out of the city. And every time I get out on the Sporty, man, it just reminds me why I love this thing so much. Just simple, basic, stripped down, visceral, raw motorcycling experience. Not a whole lot to it. It really reminds you why you just kind of like love the Sportsters, love what they're all about, kind of love like the culture behind the Sporty, the age of it and everything. And it's interesting, some of the frequent comments that I get, you know, related around the Sportster, like Instagram DMs, YouTube video comments and stuff like that, is, you know, a lot of people will drop a comment down there or shoot a message over, say, you know, I just picked up my Sportster. You know, what should I do to it first? You know, kind of strapped for money. I got a little bit of a long-term plan that, you know, I plan on doing this and that. And no, what should I invest in first? And I think that's a pretty good question, you know, not only for a Sportster, but any bike or Harley specifically. That's one of the fun things you can do, is kind of mod these things out. It's like, what are some of the first couple things I should do? You know, and also if you're limited with time or money or resources or whatever it might be, you want to make sure that you really hit like the main couple things that are really going to kind of like enhance your bike first. You know, like invest your time and money into a couple things right off the bat that are really going to enhance the bike, the look, the feel, the sound, the comfort, any of that stuff is typically what I recommend. And I've got two right off the bat that I'm going to tell you are probably the first two things, if you don't do anything else to your bike at all, the first two things that you should probably do to your Sportster, if you can, to really give yourself that good Harley feel, sound, riding experience and stuff like that. So if you guys have an opinion on that, make sure you go ahead and drop it down in the comments before I let you know what mine is. Like, for anybody out there, what would you say is the first two things that you really need to do to your Harley Sportster? Because like I said, you want to make those early on investments worth it. You want to really get a couple of those really good modifications that are going to enhance your bike out of the way first. So let me know what a couple of first things you guys did to your Sportsters. Drop them down in the comments, or let me know, help anybody else out there, what you think some of those early first couple Sportster modifications should be to the bike. And I'm going to let you know, we're going to pull over here in Valley Forge in just a second. I'm going to let you know what mine are here in just a second. But like I said, if you think about it, you know, you spend anywhere from, you know, if you bought used or new, maybe like 5 to 10K on the bike in the first place. You might be a little strapped for cash, you know, you might not have time. You want to put those investments in the right spot to the bike early on. And so, you know, right after you buy that bike, you might be a little strapped for cash or something like that. You know, you might have a long-term plan laid out of, you know, where you want to spend the money into the bike and stuff like that. There's two that I would say are just really, really important that you should do off the bat. As we enter Valley Forge here, like I said, you get some really nice views out here. A lot of wide open space, the trees are changing, it's late October, early November. A lot of good colors out here. It's a really nice day, probably like 65, probably be pretty busy out here today too. Man, I always say it, but look at this lovely landscape out here in Valley Forge. I know you guys have seen me come through here a couple times, but I don't know if I ever was out here filming during fall, but man, look at this. All the rich history back here. This is amazing out here once these leaves start turning colors and stuff. Probably one of the quicker, better rides to, you know, if you just try to escape the city. Really, depending on traffic, maybe like 25-30 minute ride out here, and it's a decent ride out here too. But man, look at all this. You just got to take it all in. Looks good. A lot of rich history and everything out here. Now we're kind of on the other side of Valley Forge. You can really just kind of do like a nice loop over here. You take a look at some more like, you know, little log cabins and stuff. Washington's Crossing, obviously a lot of history with the Revolutionary War up here in Valley Forge. It really does create a nice loop. If you came in over on the other side where we just came in, you kind of do that whole little loop, scoot back through this way. You got a couple other little points or pullovers you can pull out on, trails and everything. Definitely would recommend any motorcyclists out here kind of in the southeastern PA region, Philly or burbs or anything. I'm sure you've probably been out this way, but if you haven't, I would definitely recommend taking a little quick little scoot through Valley Forge. Other little towns and stuff around here too, like, you know, stop at Phoenixville, get something to eat, stuff like that. But anyways, that's enough on Valley Forge. Let's go ahead and pull over and get back to the actual topic of the video. The two first things, if you do nothing else to your bike, that you absolutely must put on your Harley Sportster. Alrighty guys, so of course here you go, my 2019 Harley Sportster Iron 1200. So like I said, if I could go back, there's two things that I probably would have done to this bike earlier on, or the first two things that I probably would have invested in to kind of enhance the bike a little bit. The actual first two things that I did was actually this Viking swing arm bag, and kind of my rationale behind that was, you know, there's no luggage or, you know, way to carry anything on a stock Sportster. So it's like, I got to get a bag on here. I need some water, you know, tools or whatever, throw them in there. And then next up, I did the Rogue Rider Industries LED lights in the front and back with the black smoke lenses. So, you know, not disappointed in that. I was probably going to do all of that stuff eventually. That just happened to be the first two things that I did on my Sportster. But like I said, if I could go back, there's the two things that I'm going to tell you right now that you absolutely need to do first to your Sportster to enhance it, give it the comfort, the look, the style, the feel. You guys are probably already kind of have an idea of where I'm going with this. So I'm going to say, if you're going to invest anything into your Sportster first, go ahead and invest yourself in a new seat. That's right. Everybody complains about the stock seats from Harley, stock seats on any bike really, but I would definitely recommend, say, go ahead, upgrade your stock seat. The stock seat on most Sportsters are terrible. I went ahead with the Saddleman step up here with the diamond stitching. You can see I'm kind of got some issues here with the leather cracking. Might have to look into that a little bit further. But anyways, I went ahead with the step up. It gives you just such a better riding position. It's going to slide you back. It's going to lift you up. It's going to give you a little support right here. Just gives you more space, more comfort on the bike. And also it just enhances kind of the look and profile as well. Gives you some extra lines there as compared to the stock seat where it just kind of comes straight down. You had a little lip here on the Iron 1200 one. 883 looks a little bit different, but almost any Sportster stock seat is really bad. So right off the bat, I would say that's probably one of the first things. If you can't do anything else, go ahead, invest yourself in a new seat. Give yourself some extra style, some extra comfort. Really, with any, you know, different brand seat out there is probably going to help you out, whether you're going for like a bobber look or anything. A lot of good seats that are going to fit all the different styles for the Sportster. So go ahead and upgrade your seat. I would say, if you can't do anything else, hit that seat number one. And then after your seat, I would say next up, get yourself an exhaust, whether it's slip-ons like I have here with the Vance & Hines slash cut, or if you go 2-to-1 full exhaust system, you're going to want to do that right away. The stock exhaust on your Sportster, any Harley really, is just going to sound absolutely terrible. It's going to give you a different look. It's going to give you a whole different sound. So much more fun to ride once you just kind of transform that sound a little bit. Gives you a little bit more slim, streamlined look. Anything, like I said, if it's going to be slip-ons or 2-to-1, really, it's going to just make your bike way more enjoyable. Like I said, depending on what you're looking to do with the thing right away, those are the two things that I would really say just invest in those first. You know, don't worry about anything else. Get yourself a seat, get yourself an exhaust, slip-ons or 2-to-1. So I'll go ahead and give you an idea what mine sound like right here. I've got a full video on these, actually both items here. I've got a full video on the Saddleman seat, full video on the Vance & Hines exhaust. If anybody wants to see those, go take a look back in my video list. But for now, we'll just give you kind of like a quick idea of what these are going to sound like. Wow, bike is actually super dirty right now. I don't know if that's coming through on camera. I got caught in the rain a couple times. Haven't washed it since. I really need to. But anyways, like I said, I waited almost probably a year to put this exhaust on. I rode with the stock exhaust for almost a year. I rode with the stock seat for many months too. And just, if I could go back, if I could just do it over again, I would have definitely kind of picked those two things out first. Even long term, if you're not going to do anything to your bike, if there's a question on what you should do first or when you should do it, these are the two things I would say. You got to go seat and exhaust first, just to enhance the look, enhance the sound, the feel, the comfort, the riding. All of that stuff is going to be better over stock. So first things, if you have any questions on that, obviously I would say if you're not going to do anything at all, those are the two that you got to do, and do them right away. Alright guys, so I think that is going to wrap this one up for now as we take one last look at my Harley Sportster. Again, let me know your feedback or comments down there. Drop them down there. Let me know what you think. What is some of the first things that you should do to your bike? Even if you're not going to do a whole lot of modifications, what should you do first if you're not going to do anything at all? Get a couple of these things in. Let me know what it is or what you went ahead and did to your own bikes or Sportster, the first couple things you just had to swap out and change on your bikes. So of course that is going to wrap it up for now. We're going to finish off this fall day ride through Valley Forge here, get back into the city. As always, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead, like this video, drop a comment down there, and subscribe to the channel. As always, make sure you guys ride safe out there. It's the Moto John. We'll see y'all on down the road.